Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors, and all peoples, welcome to my journey to my first art gallery. My name is Ando Ehlers, and I'm a mixed media creative from Seattle, Washington. On February 15th, 2020, I participated in my first art gallery, which was called A Twisted Love Art Event in Tacoma, Washington at the Fulcrum Gallery. And a lot happened before that night, and I want to take you guys on that journey. So, I've been doing visual art for about 5 years, and what I love to do is illustrate for books. It's probably one of my most passionate subjects that I study. And with this gallery, I presented 16 pieces of art, 8 of which were a part of a book that I released in February of this year called The Garden of Ruin, The Bad Seeds That Destroy Our Relationships. And prior to getting everything ready to start promoting the gallery and framing and doing everything else that happens, I had to finish up and release the book. So that was a good 2 all-nighters or so, starting on February 1st or February 2nd. And it's about, 2 weeks out to the gallery. So for those of you who have made books and things before, it's definitely a labor of love. There's a lot of things in it that are very, very fun. There are also a lot of things that are very tedious that all of us could live without, and that includes copyright registration, ISBN registration, book formatting, getting it ready for an ebook, getting it ready for a physical book, and doing all of that. So a couple of all-nighters later, the book was ready to go, it was cut and printed. I did a free download, wanted to promote it a little bit, and then it was time to focus solely on the gallery. So at this point, we had about, I would want to say 2 weeks or 10 or 12 days or so. All kind of blurs together now. And what I wanted to do to try to help and to try to support this event was run Instagram ads. I've never done this before, so I thought this would be a great way to experiment with it and to start learning. And prior to all of this, I had spent a good month or so researching how to run a successful Instagram ad campaign for an event, and how to tailor videos, and how to try to catch people's attention and ensure them that we will be having so much fun on the night of the show. And just keep that in mind as I go through this. So more all-nighters came, and mainly that was for mixing down and editing videos for these promo trailers I wanted to make for the gallery. And that was really cool because I got to pick up a new MIDI keyboard. I got to learn how to, play around with making beats and recording little background songs and stuff like that. And to make that, the trailers more fun and more engaging. Got a little background music going, got a narrative going, got a dialogue. Showing on the art, trying to show off and look really cool or something like that. Noob as hell, I know, but hey, all right. Gave it all a shot. So, days and days later, all-nighters and all-nighters later, the trailers were complete, and it was time to launch the promos. And this is where it got pretty hairy. So, however many all-nighters later, to make an Instagram promotion, you have to create a Facebook account because Facebook owns Instagram. And I've not been active on Facebook. I had an account that I deactivated a couple of years ago, and even before I deactivated it, I was inactive on that account, I think, for 5 years. So I've not really set foot on the Facebook realm in so long. I just thought okay, I'll go, register a new account or something. Keep, I don't really use Facebook, so I'll just kind of make some super private account and then do whatever I have to do to link it up. And apparently, Facebook now has some new security initiative or something like that, and they really seriously screen you if you want to make an account. And their account screening thing is so new, or it's so AI bot oriented, that Mark Zuckerberg does not believe I am a human. So I was not allowed to create a Facebook account. And so that led to a pretty detailed freak out. We'll show some muted footage of the meltdown here for your perverse enjoyment. And it led to a serious drop and roll because I thought, okay, well, that was kind of my entire plan. So I guess I'm gonna all-nighter it and crash it again and figure out how to run this on YouTube. And so I did, and I set up an account and everything, and that one, Google does believe I'm human, so we were off to a good start. And I was allowed to set up a Google Ads account and run the promo. And even in that took like 72 hours to be cleared because they had to make sure I wasn't running a scam, and they had to make sure I wasn't uploading videos that were inappropriate for advertisements and stuff like that. So it was basically just flipping out for a couple of days, wondering to myself, like, okay, am I like not contributing at all to this now? Because I didn't print any flyers, I didn't do anything like that. I thought, like, no, I'm gonna do this, like, we're gonna try the digital approach here. And like everyone, other than a couple friends and coworkers I told about the event, like I didn't do this, so I was freaking out. And then finally, the promo trailer did go live. And it was good. Like, it seems like it got a pretty good response. And I thought, okay, this is good, And I have no idea how many people who saw the trailer actually showed up. I guess there's no way for me to check that, but I just wanted to, like, people to know we're gonna be there. There's me, there's 6 other artists, there's live music, there's gonna be so much fun. So I just wanted, the city to know that there's gonna be something very good happening that night. And then after that, and this is another thing that I think a lot of people can relate to, especially people who've done other galleries before, that this being my first gallery, it was an intense sensation, for lack of a better way to put it, is that mainly and for every project I've ever done, I always feel this way, but this was a really pronounced experience with it, is that when you're working on something constantly, like I just was with the book, and then framing all the pieces, and then wrapping all the pieces, and then getting everything ready to go, and when the work is kind of finally done, and then the trailer went live, and everything is like set and ready, it was something like 48 hours until the gallery, or 72 hours until the gallery. And then all of a sudden, you go from complete chaos to frightening quiet. It's eerie, and then your mind wanders. And you don't know if your art is any good anymore. Or you don't know if what you just released or what you put out, you don't even know if, like, does this suck? Is this horrible? And I just don't even know if it's any good. Because it's all I've been staring at for the last, like, 30 to 60 days. So it finally, like, hits the press, it hits the internet, it does all this stuff, and then you're just sitting there for a day or two and they're like, well, I guess, like, reviews will come in or something, or we'll find out on the night of the event, but I think it's good, And so I just tried to occupy my brain for a couple days, like, frantically cleaning my apartment over and over again, doing chores, walking aimlessly around Seattle at night, and I love doing that. That always calms me down, but it's a bizarre part of the journey with project-based stuff. Because you have that point where you reach and you have to say to yourself, like, okay, well, there's nothing else I can do now. Like, I feel like I did everything I possibly could, and I hope we're all going to have a ton of fun together, and it's going to be great. And then the night of the gallery came. And oh my goodness, was it an amazing night. A lot of people came out. The art that the creatives hung that night on the walls was it was brilliant. Like, I loved the pieces I saw. People were really interested to talk about art with one another. The bands killed it. I think pretty much everyone there too just had such a good time, and the whole night was such a whirlwind for me, and it happened so fast, and then I myself was just so anxious about everything surrounding the event, I forgot to get any photos. So all of the photos that are reeling right now are from the other artists that hung at the gallery or people that attended. And so thank you very much for submitting those photos that I was frantically asking for on Instagram, because my hyperactive ass was too caught up in the moment. But maybe that's for the best. It's, So all in all, it was an incredible night. and there was all-nighter after all-nighter, and I'm sure all of the other people that were hanging out, the bands and everybody was going through the same thing. But Tacoma, Washington, you seriously brought it. You are a wonderful community. You have a very, very rich culture with visual art and music and sculpture, ceramics, and everything. It was just so nice. It was so cool. And I really hope we can all do it again soon. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, friends and neighbors and all peoples, thanks for tuning in. This is the story of the all-nighters and the existential crises that led up to my first art gallery, and I'm sure a lot of the other people are there too, are having the same deal. I'm sure if you've had an art gallery before, you may have the same experience, or maybe I'm just a hypochondriac, I don't know. But, yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I think, the main reason that I made this video is just to let you know that if my sorry ass can pull this many all-nighters, if I can do all this, then so can you. And with such wonderful communities that so many of us live in, with all of these brilliant creatives that are really, so many of these people live just down the street from you. You may not know it, but they do. And all of the things that make events and culture and art and music so amazing. If I can do this kind of stuff, then I guarantee you that you can too. So I would say take the leap, take the risk, and just go for it, okay? I think you'll be pleasantly surprised as to what happens when you keep grinding at it. And hopefully there's going to be another gallery soon, so we can do it all over again. I love all-nighters, yeah. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Be sure to check the video description, okay? I've got links and social media accounts for all of the other visual artists, painters, sculptors, photographers. We have bands that night, everything like that. I've got them all in the video description and a link to the gallery as well. So give it a look, and wherever we end up next, I hope to see you there. All right?